On the beat every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that where I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Cone. You know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA. We the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers. Go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here. What's up, Man Hour? Head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page and check out the blog section as well. But as always, if you're over here on youtube.com/Man Hour, you become a member. As little as 99 cents per day, you get access to merchandise discounts. $2.99, you get access to the after hours footage, of course, and then the merchandise discount as well. $5.99, you get a free t-shirt after 6 months of membership. And if the $9.99 rolls around, you get a hoodie every year that you are a member of the Man Hour Nation. You get after-hours footage. You get during behind-the-scenes show footage, so you get to see what I do during the breaks, and you get pre-show footage as well. So definitely $9.99 is way to go, and it is simple as that. I mean, it is easy to join. Simply click on the join button and join the ride here. So we're going to talk some Aaron Rodgers tonight. We're going to talk some Trey Lance. We're going to talk some NBA Nets versus Heat. Shane Bieber gets another 10 strikeouts for the 4th straight time this season. But first, let's welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Wyatt Williams. What's going on, Wyatt?
What is up, Buck? Man Hour Nation, Big X Sports Radio. I'm excited for the show, man. It's going to be an awesome one. Wasn't here yesterday, but we are here today. Yeah,
so funny fact, Combs and Torrey kind of held it down yesterday, and today it's you and me. So, I mean, Man Hour Nation is on a ride. Now, I'm just kidding. we got Torrey on tonight as well. What's going on, Torrey?
Where am I?
You are not in Wisconsin anymore.
This is two nights in a row?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure when I walk out the door that my head's going to fit because my ego's probably that big now.
Hey, so you have been holding it down for me on Sundays, and I couldn't be much more grateful. Combs is getting home a little late from work, so you got to hold it down for Combs too. As Drew comes in and says, "Oh God, help us now." So
I 100% agree with you, Drew. 2 nights in a row of me talking, roll.
Uh-oh. Well, see, Torrey, I am the best host here, and I bring out the best of everybody. So I'm going to bring out the best of Wyatt. I'm going to bring out the best of you, and I'm going to make this perfectly filtered quarterback by the name of Trevor Lawrence, but I'm going to name him Wyatt Anderson. So it's going to be it's going to be a great night. Are you ready?
I thought we were just going to have some white buckery going on here.
Nope, that's not going to happen tonight. But speaking of what's happening in the NFL, Alex Smith officially called it a career after he basically almost got killed on the NFL field just a couple years, 2019, I believe it was. 37 years old. He has officially retired from the NFL. Earlier this season, earlier this offseason, he did say that he wanted to try to start and compete on a different NFL team after being released by the Washington football team. But Wyatt, he has officially retired from the NFL. What kind of career do you think Alex Smith has had?
I don't want to necessarily call it a Hall of Fame career. I feel like a lot of people jump the gun whenever they see that somebody has retired after a long career. And, even if they've overcome certain things like Alex Smith, I think a lot of people like to jump the gun and say Hall of Fame. Not taking anything away from Alex Smith. I think he had an awesome career with the 49ers. He had an awesome career with the Kansas City Chiefs for a short stint. And then also a great career with the football team for a very short stint as well. And what he overcame was absolutely incredible, from being told that he'd never walk again, from being told that they were going to amputate his leg, from being told that he'd never, I watched his retirement video or whatever today, and him kind of talking about he was worried that he was never going to be able to take a walk with his wife again. Yeah. He was worried about never going and playing sports in the yard with his kids again. So I mean, it's a sad thing to see him go, but at the same time, it's really cool. He closed off his retirement video with, "My kids don't know what's coming for him in the backyard sports games." So I'm sure he's going to be balling out in the backyard. But it's cool, and I'm really happy for him that he was able to close out like this. He was able to come back and prove everybody that he could still do this, and he did a really good job. And I got to say, this is probably he overcame possibly the toughest thing that anybody's ever had to overcome in NFL history with his injury. If not the toughest, then it's easily top 3. So hats off to Alex.
Yeah, well, like anytime you overcome a near-death experience, I mean, you are definitely at the top of the comeback list there. But Tori, well, what are your thoughts about the Alex Smith comeback and just his overall career?
Well, first off, Wyatt, did you watch his career in San Francisco? They had a bust label all over him when he was in San Francisco. He had a decent last year in San Francisco. San Francisco was a train wreck while he was there. Once he went to Kansas City, his career started to really take off. He really blossomed into a really good quarterback. And I feel bad because I think it was in his 4th or 5th year he went to Kansas City. So he basically had 4 years of his career wasted before he went to Kansas City and became a pretty good quarterback in this league. Again, right. Yeah, he went to the Washington football team, and I do believe it was 2018. He missed all of 2019 and came back only in part of 2020. Because there again, they told him, "We might have to take your leg." Him and the Teddy Bridgewater injuries are just they're a testament to medicine today. Where they were like, "We thought we were going to have to take your leg off, but good news, we don't." I mean, I guess that'd be good news for anybody, but
but just looking at Alex Smith's career post, near death experience there, guys, he was 5-1 as a starter last year with the Washington football team. Yes, the football team had a great defense. They had a pretty good young core on the offensive side as well, but he basically single-handedly catapult them into the playoffs, and for them to kind of just part ways with him, just after that, it kind of upsets me a little bit here. Just why would he put his life on the line for you just to be hey, sorry, I don't want to play with you. It seemed dumb to me. Tori, what are your thoughts on that?
He probably had a really big deductible to meet from his insurance. I'm just kidding. No, the time there again, the time comes for every player. Father time waits for nobody. At this point, he's like, you know what? I proved it. I did what I wanted to do. I came back. I showed myself. I showed everybody, look, this is what you can do if you put your mind to it. He walked away, in my mind, at the right time. You can walk. You still have your leg. There's no, tomorrow's never guaranteed in the NFL. Right. There again, it may have been that nobody was even calling. They're interested, not even in saying, hey, you want to come, as possibly our backup. No, the competitor in him probably still wanted to play. The competitor still wants to start. He probably wasn't going to get that opportunity. He said, you know what? If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. I'm going to hang it up. And to me, that if you're an athlete, that is absolutely the right call to make.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree 100%. If it's time, then it's time. And, there was nothing really left that he had to prove. He had proved everything he needed to. I'm sure he'd like to close his career out with a Super Bowl. That's the way everybody would love to. But at the same time, if it's time to hang it up, then it's time to hang it up. And, he had kind of talked about, I don't mean to keep bringing up the video or anything, but, he kind of talked about in that video that, that football had done a lot for him, that whenever he put he had no intentions of worrying about football whatsoever with this injury until they put a football in his hands. He said that overnight I went from, I was not worried about football at all. I was worried about being with my wife and my kids and, being alive. Then I was worried about walking with them again. Then I was worried about, running with them. Football was the farthest thing from my mind. And then he said that he put a football in his hands and it was like everything changed. It was like the drive that football had instilled in him as a kid to make it to the NFL and all that had just re-instilled in him that he was going to do this. He was going to overcome this and get back to that top level. So, it's an incredible story. It's really awesome. It's something that years from now they're going to make documentaries on, and talk about for a very long time. He's done some really cool stuff in his career. And like I said, I'm happy for him that he was able to come back and then choose to retire. The injury didn't choose for him. I was very happy for him in that sense.
Right, and just to add to your point there, Wyatt, they already do have a 30 for 30 on that. I believe it's called like number 11 or something to that effect. It is on ESPN Front Plus, so fair warning. It is very, very graphic. Like if you have a weak stomach, just like I do, be sure to turn away when they actually show the picture of the lake, like the first time. It is
nasty,
very, very gross.
I kept waiting. Buck, did you watch the video or no?
Watch the documentary on it?
No, the video for his retirement.
No, I did not.
I literally, and Wyatt, you can probably back me up. I kept waiting for Whitney Houston, "I Will Always Love You" to come on as it ended.
Yeah,
it was just that kind of tribute, like saying,
right,
like goodbye,
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, though, I mean, one of the things that really stood out to me was like he said that he wanted to pursue a different team for a chance to start, and then kind of just like out of the blue, like he's like, nah, I'm going to retire. So I'm going to bring up this comment by Drew here, just because he basically asked my question for me, but with like a statement form. Do you think he is going to be in the broadcast booth? Like maybe that's why he called it quit, and maybe he can make more money in the broadcast booth or take care of his family like a little bit better.
I say that we give him a call and offer him a job here at the Man Hour, the best sports radio show on the planet. I mean, I think that's what we should do, is just offer him a job here.
Or, not Drew. Corey, I'm sorry.
I mean, if we can get Alex Smith, I mean, we can offer him like a hoodie and maybe a hat, and free airtime.
Yeah, I mean,
who wouldn't jump at that?
Exactly.
I mean, he made plenty of money in his career. Come on, come join our team.
So Tor, you proposed this question earlier. Was Alex Smith worth a first-round draft after watching his career play out? A first overall draft pick.
The first overall pick. And I've thought about this all day long, and I go back and forth on it. Because there again, you watch his first couple of years in San Francisco, and it was atrocious. It was bad. They called him every name under the sun. He can't complete a pass. He's inaccurate. All he does is throw interceptions, da-da-da-da-da. As soon as he moved on, though, he was one of those players that moved on to a different team, got into the right situation, and all he did was win. That's all he did. He made the Chiefs good again.
Yep.
He essentially mentored Pat Mahomes for his first year, and they said, "Hey, we're going to go with Pat." You didn't hear him complain about it. You didn't hear nothing. He said, "All right, great." He moved on. I don't think overall is he worth the number one pick? Probably not, because you always want that generational talent. You want that Peyton Manning,
or the guy that should have won at 1 overall.
Right.
Who is that?
That would be Aaron Rodgers.
Let me ask you this question. Would Aaron Rodgers have the career that he is having at Green Bay if he would have been number one overall pick?
There's no way. I don't know.
I don't think so either.
I think there is. I think Aaron Rodgers' talent is just incredible. I mean, do I think that he would have had the exact same career? No, possibly not. But do I still think he'd have been a Hall of Famer? Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Hall of Famer either way. You could put him on any team, and he'd have been a Hall of Famer.
No. There is something to be said about sitting behind somebody for 3 or 4 years and learning from a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but Brett didn't really teach him at all. Brett just kind of, he did in a sense.
He observed and he watched. The thing is, though, is you look at quarterbacks that have sat, their success rate when they do start is way better than somebody that gets tossed into the fire.
I'm sure.
Steve McNair sat in Houston and played sporadically for his basically first 2.5 years.
Tom Brady.
And he went out and he had a great career. Brady though actually got thrown in as a rookie halfway through, and Bledsoe got hurt.
He still got to sit though. He will not be like the person that we're going to talk about after the break here, Trey Lance. He's probably not going to be thrown into a fire on a bad team. So
right, and there's something to be said for that. When you can learn, and there is not the pressure on you to go out and produce, it is a completely different situation for you.
Do you think Alex would have had Aaron's career? Switch roles. Do you think Alex would have had Aaron's career if they switched roles.
Yes.
And like I think he would still have the same career, like he would have probably been mediocre his first couple years. Well, actually, he wouldn't have played his first 3 or 4 years, right?
No.
And then like he would have came out in the Chiefs form. I don't think he would have survived in Green Bay, to be honest, just because the biggest knock on Alex Smith was his arm strength, and I think you have to have a strong arm to play up in Lambeau Field.
No, because if you look at the offense that McCarthy ran, it was a lot of underneath. It was a lot of quick slants, stuff like that. That's why Randall Cobb just tore it up for those years, because we would go underneath. We don't chuck the ball deep a ton. He checks down a lot, yeah. But we had great tight ends. We had at that time he would have had Jermichael Finley, he would have had Randall Cobb, he would have had Jordy, he would have had Greg Jennings, he would have had James Jones, he would have had all these weapons that he did not have. Not even when he went to Kansas City, he didn't have that kind of
He still had some good weapons, though. I mean, Vernon Davis is one of the all-time great tight ends. He had some decent weapons out there. Frank Gore was in his prime at running back. He had a good offensive line. I mean, they made some good playoff runs while he was there. They just never won
one
anything.
wide receiver they had.
Oh, well, now I'm not going to be able to off the top of my head. I will find some, though, and get some. Off the top of my head, I will not be able to name them. But
they had Crabtree.
Yes, Michael Crabtree.
And in your defense, Wyatt, the year that Alex Smith lost his starting job, I believe they were 12-0 when he got his concussion, and then Kaepernick came in and quote lit it up, and he never got his starting job back, and they eventually did go to the Super Bowl that year, and I think with Alex Smith at quarterback at the helm in San Francisco that year, they would have won the Super Bowl.
They would have never beat Green Bay and Lambeau, though.
Yeah, they would have.
No, they went to.
No, Colin Kaepernick was the reason.
Kaepernick tore us up.
Kaepernick literally killed us. That one play where he had that read option, and I see Charles Woodson can't catch him. I'm like, oh God.
Well, I was gonna say, you see, so I'm not gonna lie, Drew. I am making an attempt to get him on the show.
Well, with that being said, Tori, way to kind of just like derail the show there. Bring it back here, guys. We are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, guys, we are going to talk NFL draft. Like, we got Trey Lance's second pro day is coming up. We got the Nets versus Heat, Sunday night killer, and the Major League killer Shane Bieber, 10+ strikeouts in 4 straight games. So we'll cover that and all that and much more coming up here on the Man Hour, guys, right after this beautiful little break, if I can find the overlay. There it is. Bada bing, bada boom. We'll be right back, guys. welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Wyatt Williams and Tori Anderson tonight. Combs is on assignment, taking care of the business at the house. So we'll welcome the boys back onto the show here. Let me go ahead and push that button. Bada bing, bada boom. There they are. Welcome back to the show, boys. And quite frankly, guys, we are going to start diving deep into the NFL draft talk, because the draft is just 10 days away now. Actually, it's 18 days away, as Wyatt is getting excited like over there as he's laid back, looking all sexual over there. Man, I'm getting hot and bothered just thinking about it. But let's just talk about real talk here, guys. Trey Lance is he will be holding his second pro day here in the upcoming days, and some teams have made it official that they will be there, and one of which is the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers is a organization that normally holds the cards very close to their vest, and with them leaking information about Mac Jones being their third overall pick, I kind of feel like this is a bluff here. So let me go ahead and propose this question for you guys here. Should Trey Lance be drafted this high in the draft at the third overall pick, Wyatt?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Mac Jones should either. I think that Justin Fields, in my opinion, is the clear-cut, option for that third overall pick, because one is Trevor Lawrence. We all know this. Second, as of right now, we all know is Zach Wilson. It's locked in. And the third pick is really where everybody kind of starts speculating. So you've got Justin Fields, who is a great athletic quarterback, and you've got Trey Lance, who's a great athletic quarterback, who both have, nice, strong arms. And then you've got Mac Jones, which I don't even know how Mac Jones can be considered as a top 3 quarterback. I'm puzzled on that, honestly, still, and I always will be. I don't know, but I think that Trey Lance definitely deserves a nod and a look at this. You've always got to give the guy his shot at it, and I think he deserves to be a top 10 quarterback. I just think with that third overall pick, if Justin Fields is still on the board, San Francisco would be stupid, and I mean stupid, not to take Justin Fields right there. Justin Fields is a quarterback who is going to be, I believe, very successful in the league, and especially if he goes somewhere like San Francisco. It's funny, actually, because the best situation right now for all of these rookie quarterbacks is that third overall pick. Because think about it. If you go first overall, you're going to the Jaguars. Excuse me. Who have literally nothing. Like on the offensive line, you've got no protection. Defense is below average. You've got a couple of decent weapon options in James Robinson. And then their wide receiver core isn't bad. Keelan Cole and DJ Chark. I almost forgot his name. But, you've got a couple of decent wide receiver options. But then you look at the Jets. They're in the same boat. The Jets have nobody across the board. When you look at that San Francisco team, though, they've got a stacked house for running backs. They've got a decent offensive line. They've got one of the top defenses in the league. You've got a couple of good wide receiver options. And you've got a top 3 tight end, top 2, maybe even top tight end in the league in Kittle. So, I mean, the best option here for all these quarterbacks is to go with that third overall pick. So, I think that any of these quarterbacks will have success in San Francisco just because of the situation they're going to. But I think that Justin Fields will have the most success of all of them, followed by Trey Lance and then Mac Jones. I don't even think should be a top 10 quarterback. But
so
before
I kick it to Tori there, Wyatt, let me have a follow-up question for you here. So are you saying that, let's say, out of the top 10 teams in the NFL draft, the San Francisco 49ers is the most desirable team to go to?
I think if not the most, probably second most, at least arguably the most. I just think of those top 5 picks, they're probably the most desirable, especially for a quarterback, because you're essentially set there. I mean, they're one of those teams that is a quarterback away. Maybe a wide receiver option would be nice for them to add somebody right there. But I mean, you've got a lot of solid pieces around you, and Kyle Shanahan is a good coach, a really strong offensive mind. So it would be nice to go out there and play. I think that is definitely, if not the best option in the top 10, arguably the best option, and a top 2, top 3 option.
If it's not the 49ers, who would be the best option for a kickback?
If not, probably Dallas, but they're not going to take a quarterback. So that wouldn't be the top option for a quarterback, but for a player to go in the top 10.
If Justin Fields fell down to the Cowboys, I don't think Jerry Jones would not pull that trigger on that.
I don't know, man.
So, during the break, Dallas is shopping that pick. They are open to trading that pick right now.
Every team is open to trading their pick just because they want to scoot down in the draft and possibly get a Trey Lance, or Justin, because rumor has it that Justin Field is going to follow. It's going to fall down to 22 till the Patriots. I think it's like that.
The 24 to the Steelers.
I've heard everything.
According to Charlie Casserly, and I said, "There's no way.
There is no way."
And if you read, Zach Wilson is not a guaranteed lock at number 2. There's a lot of stuff coming out now. The thing is this time of year, everything is smoke and mirrors. You do not believe 95% of what you hear because it's either A, an agent trying to talk his guy up to get him drafted higher, B, it's a team trying to throw somebody else off the scent, or C, it's a team that wants to hype up a guy that they can get another team to trade up and come get him. It is nothing but a mind game at this point. And a lot of the stuff I read now is Zach Wilson is not guaranteed at number 2. A lot of them are like, if you take Zach Wilson over Justin Fields is clearly the second best quarterback in this draft. You're crazy. And so there's a lot of people coming out today saying Zach Wilson's not a lock, that Justin Fields probably will be up there. And they all feel Trey Lance. Trey Lance could end up being probably in that 3 or 4 spot. I think, and you said, I agree with Wyatt that at that 3 spot, the Niners are the best situation to go into. However, the second best spot is right there at number 4 if they stay in that spot. And if they go after a quarterback, is Atlanta. You have an aging Matt Ryan. They could draft somebody that's not going to have to step in right away. They could sit and learn. They have Calvin Ridley and Julio to throw to. Who knows how many years Julio is left, but still, you still have a young Calvin Ridley on that team. They have a lot of offensive pieces. They've got a decent offensive line that they invested a lot of draft capital into in Atlanta. They've got a defense that's okay.
Slightly above average.
Yeah. It didn't get to the levels that they thought it would with Quinn as the head coach when he came over from Seattle, but still it's not like the cupboards are bare in Atlanta. They are literally like 1 or 2 pieces away from A, being a playoff team, and B, being back to a legitimate playoff threat.
So what you're telling me is that the Falcons are Super Bowl bound if they get a new defensive coordinator and get Trey Lance.
They did get a new defensive coordinator. They got a new head coach.
So you're saying they're Super Bowl bound?
I'm saying they're probably playoff bound this year.
Interesting.
Quinn, I don't know what Quinn was. Quinn just was not good with that team.
So, Wyatt, let me ask you this question here. From everything that Tori just said, that nobody is a lock after 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., did the San Francisco 49ers make a mistake by giving away the house and the keys and even the wife to move up to number 3 to get Mac Jones or Trey Lance?
If they moved all the way up there and they get Mac Jones, I'm telling you right now, they wasted it. 110%. That is the dumbest thing you can do. If they trade all that, that'd be like the Bears moving up to take Trubisky at 2. That's exactly what this is. You're going to waste a pick if you pick Mac Jones at 3. I'm sorry, but if you gave up all that draft capital and you gave up everything that you did for the next several years, and you take Mac Jones, you're going to be highly disappointed. I mean, highly disappointed. If you take Trey Lance, I still think Trey Lance is a good option. There. I don't think if they take Trey Lance over Justin Fields, I won't agree with it. But
did you watch his pro day today?
No, I have not actually got a chance to watch his pro day.
So Trey Lance's pro day was Monday, and he was dropping dimes, throwing bombs, rolling out to his left, tossing back to his right, on right in stride. The kid, the arm strength is unbelievable on that kid. There again, you're doing it. I'm going to go Combs here for a second and be like, he was in a t-shirt and shorts. I don't care who you are. When you're rolling to your left and you're trying to throw back to your right and you're throwing across your body like that, to get that kind of distance is insane.
Yeah, no, and I haven't got a chance to watch it. I've heard some stuff and I've seen some of the highlights, but I haven't really got a chance to deep dive into it. But one that I did was Justin Fields, and I think Justin Fields was the exact same way. I think Trey Lance and Justin Fields are actually very similar quarterbacks. Essentially, I think they could even be compared to be the same in a sense, because they are both freakishly athletic, got really good arm strength for their size, and they both, were good leaders in college. Of course, Fields had higher accolades because he played at Ohio State rather than North Dakota State. But, when you look at them in a sense, I think they're very similar. And honestly, if you take either of them at that third pick, I don't think you're wrong. I still would take Justin Fields because I watched both pro days for Justin, and stumbling. He ran a 4.40. That is incredible. And if you watch that first step, he stumbles, still gets himself back, and finishes with that great time for a quarterback. If you watched his throws, many NFL scouts said it was the best quarterback workout that they've ever seen. Many of them saying it's the best they've seen in 10 plus years. So, everybody was really impressed by the throws and the athletic ability that Justin had put out there on his pro day. So, but either way, you can't, I don't think necessarily you'd go wrong either way with picking Lance or Fields. You absolutely go wrong if you take Mac Jones, though. I can tell you that right now. I think Mac Jones isn't even a top 5, top 7 maybe quarterback in this draft. I think Mond is better. I think the kid from Stanford, he's slipping my head. I think he is better. I think Sam Ehlinger could even possibly be better from Texas. I don't want to put that out there yet, but I do think that Mond, and of course I'm going to forget his name now, but the kid from Stanford, I think both of them are better than Mac Jones. I have no faith in Mac Jones. I think he was lifted severely over and over and over again by incredible wide receiver talent. If you go look at his wide receiver options over the last 2 years, they're all in the NFL or going to be in the NFL, and they're going to be great receivers in the NFL. So, I mean, he's been given literally everything. If Justin Fields had what he had, he would have beat Ohio State by even more than what he did. So, I'm telling you, if they take Mac Jones at that third over spot, they are making a big mistake.
I agree with that. So, Buck, you'll remember this. You know who Mac Jones reminds me of?
Who's
is
that?
Gino Torretta. Gino Torretta won a freaking Heisman and a national title with the Miami Hurricanes, but literally had NFL talent at every position around him. I think he wasn't super high in the draft. I think he might have been a third or a fourth round pick, but he was out of the NFL in like 2 years. He was trash.
Yeah.
And to me, I think Mac Jones is almost the same thing. Like, I am living by the mantra that Mac is trash. Well, Mac and
it's
Zach are
just
trash.
the Alabama quarterback thing. Look back at any of the Alabama quarterbacks before this. Jake Coker. 90% of your people on planet Earth don't even know who Jake Coker is. Your diehard college football fans know who Jake Coker is, and that's it. Before Mac, you've got Tua, who, of course, is in the NFL. But look at before Tua. Like I said, you've got Coker. A.J. McCarron is going to be a career backup. He's done absolutely nothing. There's just not been any...
Yeah, Jalen.
Jalen, who I would consider him, I would consider him more of an Oklahoma guy after, I think that's where he had his best times. But it's just the Alabama quarterback. They're just not NFL quarterbacks. You get, like I said, you get a couple out of the pot here every once in a while, like Tua. If you consider Jalen an Alabama quarterback, then, Jalen has been okay. And I think Jalen will have a decent NFL career. But it's just the Alabama quarterback thing, man. They can't produce solid QB options. I mean,
the last good quarterback to come out of Bama is Bart Starr.
Yeah, exactly.
and even he was like a 12th round pick.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question here, Tori, before we move on here. Wyatt keeps bringing up Justin Fields' speed and Trey Lance's like athletic ability. When you are looking at a quarterback, are you looking at their speed and their athletic ability, or are you looking at their head smarts and like where they're placing the ball on the field?
I'm going to look at their head smarts and where they're placing the football first, because happy feet become injured feet, and you've seen it with almost every scrambling quarterback throughout the history of the NFL. That if you don't know how to throw from the pocket, eventually you're not going to last long in this league. You are going to get hurt. I call it get RG3. It was unfortunate because RG3 had a great rookie year. It was terrible what happened to him, but you saw he could not be a pocket quarterback. If he could not do like the RPO stuff, he was screwed. He needed to be running around, needed to be out of the pocket. They have what they call the happy feet, that they got to move. And you at that point you now become over anxious. So you start underthrowing guys, you start overthrowing guys, your accuracy goes right out the window. So give me the head smarts all day long. The mobility is great, don't get me wrong. But, at the end of the day, you got to have a guy that can learn how to throw from the pocket.
I like to look at all of it, and I think that both of these guys have all of it.
You got to pick. Like you can't have all of it.
No waffles today, Wyatt.
The thing is, both of these guys have all of it. They've got the head smart. They can place the ball very well. If you watch their pro days, they both threw the ball incredibly well, and then showed that athletic ability and speed.
Right? With no wind, no elements, no 400-pound player coming at you.
Yes, that is true, but there were still some very difficult throws that they put you through. Like Tori mentioned, you got the cross-body throws deep down the field. You've still got to make those marks.
Throws that they've literally been doing for the last 3 months every day, right? Those difficult throws.
They're getting, all that is getting more and more accurate. Would you rather not be practicing that and not be making those throws?
I would like pro day better if it was at least in pro pads and helmets and shoulder pads, just because like one, your throwing motion changes a lot when you have shoulder pads on because your arm can't go quite up as as far. How accurate are you going to be when you can't overthrow the arm and you got to 80 degree it, and the same thing with like wide receivers too. Having a face mask there when you're catching the ball is a lot different than not having having one.
Yeah. No, I mean, and those are definitely some improvements that they can make for the pro day. I would look at possibly making those adjustments to the combine. Because, a pro day is just that, this is a weird year. Pro days are normally like that. Whereas at the combine, everybody gets together and does it with NFL, people, right. Your people who are at the college aren't timing you. You don't have the exact same guys that have been timing you the whole time that you've been at your university. So it does help in a sense for that. So I absolutely agree with you. Those adjustments could be made, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. I would just look at them as a combine adjustment.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. Like we could always talk draft and football all day long just between us, but let's go ahead and switch gears from the hard grass to the hard wood. Let's go over to the association. Sunday night basketball had a thriller for us, like we had the Heat versus Nets. It ended on a last second let me rephrase that. A game-winning shot by Bam Adebayo from the Heat, getting them the win. This is his first career winning shot ever in the NBA. Wyatt, how far can the Heat go in the postseason?
Oh, this is a good question because my girlfriend, her brother, and most of their family are all Heat fans, so I got to be careful here when I answer this. But I think the Heat have a really good shot of doing something cool this year. Now, I don't think they're, title contenders. I mean, I think that they are Eastern Conference title contenders. I don't think they'll win out of the East. I think they have a chance to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. That is absolute peak for them. But even though they beat the Nets in this game, I think that no matter what happens, just as long as KD and Kyrie and Harden are all healthy in the playoffs, I think that the Nets are going to the finals. So as for how far they can go, I think that when you look at it, Eastern Conference Finals. Now, if KD and Kyrie are hurt, or Harden's hurt, or just any of them are hurt, because all three are brittle prima donnas, I think. God. Wow. But anyways, I think there's a large chance of that. And
ladies
if they
and
are,
gentlemen, welcome James Harden to the show.
then in that case, then sure. I mean, I absolutely could see the Heat making a run at going to the finals. Now, I don't think they'd win. I think no matter what, our winner's coming out of the East this year, and I think it's the Los Angeles Lakers. So
they're in the West.
Huh?
You just said the Lakers are coming out of the East.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I meant they're coming out. My bad. Yes, they're coming out of the West.
Yeah, and just to add to your point there, though, Wyatt, I mean, the Heat are currently sitting at 7th seed in the NBA playoffs, so technically they are in that play-in game, so they could lose that play-in game and then lose a second game, and they could be knocked out of the playoffs before it actually even starts. So, Tori, How far do you think the Heat are going to go in the playoffs?
As far as Jimmy Butler carries them, because it's the same. that's what happened last year. Like, I don't know if you guys seen the meme of like they got the big train, like the bullet train, and there's a little train, and then so like the big train says Miami Heat. The people standing around, it says Heat fans and Heat organization, and the little train pulling it, it just says Jimmy Butler across it. Literally, that is the Miami Heat right now.
Yep,
really.
The thing is just like, you know, the New York Giants in football, when they won 2 titles with Eli, they got hot at the right time last year. They were not as good as they actually played, but they got hot, and it can happen to anybody. So I don't even think they make the playoffs. I don't think that they're that good. You have Jimmy Butler. The thing is, and this is where they kind of screwed themselves, and a lot of other teams are kind of in that same situation, was they all played cheap because they all thought they were going to get in on the Giannis sweepstakes this summer. So therefore, they did not spend money on a lot of players, so they would have a ton of cap space this year, so they all could have had a crack at Giannis. Well, obviously he re-signed with the Bucks.
I kind of want to smack you right now because I think the Heat probably have one of the best young, most overrated teams or most underrated teams out there.
No, you had it right the first time. Overrated.
No, they have Tyler Hero, Mr. Buckets himself, from the University of Kentucky. He
from the great state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe he has the most points in Wisconsin high school history, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Did he beat?
So.
Did he break? Anthony Pieper actually used to have it. I don't know if he broke the record or not.
I'm pretty sure he broke it.
Either way, he is Mr. Buckets, and he is a dagger with that 3 now.
Have you seen him recently, though?
I hope he fails at every turn.
The Miami Heat are saying that he is like somebody in the organization said that he needs to focus more, that he's been doing too much as for media. Over his last 10 games, I think he's averaging 4 points a game. He's shooting 29%. It's not good over the last couple of games.
Well,
so they're saying that
his first full NBA season. They're you always hit that wall. I mean, yes, you can call the COVID season his his first season or whatever, but this is his first NBA season, his first 82 NBA season, and there's such thing called a wall. We see it in college, we see it in the NBA. There is a wall that he has hit. He will get through that wall and be perfectly fine once the playoffs start.
No, I agree with Tori. I think it's as far as Jimmy carries. I think Jimmy does carry him deep into the playoffs, like Eastern Conference Finals or Eastern Conference Semifinals. But I say it's as far as Jimmy carries him.
They have a pretty star-studded or a pretty veteran-heavy roster too, man. They
and
have,
Bam too. Just as long as Bam keeps on being
Bam. The thing is Bam's one of the up-and-coming stars in this league. I'm not to take anything away from him. He's a 2-time All-Star now. Or was this his first one? But anyways, not to take anything away from Bam. He's a good player. They are just not that team. They are not deep enough to be that team this year because, like I said, they all pinched their pennies because they all thought they were going to get on the honest sweepstakes. That just obviously didn't happen.
So It is funny that you bring up Bam here. So I feel like we have been overlooking Bam since he left Kentucky and then went into the NBA. Every time we speak of young NBA stars, we speak of Luka, Zion, the great freak, just to name a few. But why? We sat here on the Man Hour, I believe it was last week, and we said that Luka was basically going to be the face of the NBA after LeBron James left. Are we sleeping on Bam? Is Bam going to be the face of the NBA?
I think we're sleeping on Bam a little bit. I don't think he'll be the face, but I think he'll be your Defensive Player of the Year a couple of times. I absolutely think we're going to see that. I think that he has, of Zion, of Luka, of Giannis, and of Jason Tatum, and guys like Ja Morant and Devin Booker. Your young stars, Trey Young. I think he has a less chance of being the star than all of those guys I just named. But I think he could absolutely be the defensive staple of the league, in a sense of Gary Payton. Right. A star player that was known for defense. I think that's exactly what it is. I think he'll get a Defensive Player of the Year, probably. I think he's already got one, I believe. If not, he got it for the playoffs. He was the Defensive Player of the playoffs or something. But he had an incredible run in the playoffs last year as a defensive player. So I'm sure before his career is over, he'll rack up a couple of Defensive Player of the Year. But no, I don't think that he is going to be the face of the league. Now, I do think he's being slept on in a sense, but no, I don't think he's going to be the deep boy.
No.
Tori?
Yeah, there's no way that he's the face of the league. And I'm probably giving him too much credit by even saying this. He's the Clyde Drexler of this era. He's a good player, but 20 years after he's done, nobody's going to be like, man, you remember Bam? Except for the fans of the team. It's
Kentucky people won't remember.
Well, see, now, why? I got to agree with Buck because I've been a Wildcats fan as well for almost all my life. Almost all my life.
Tori, I thought you were educated.
I'm going 4 years strong.
Since Jamal Mashburn played, and actually I should say before that, when Sean Kemp got kicked off of campus for shoplifting when he committed to Kentucky, I've been a Kentucky fan. And that was in 1989.
So convicts have drawn you, huh?
No.
Stealing is what really stole your fandom for Kentucky. Really, huh?
I don't know. Kemp had a pretty good career to start. So
he did.
He was amazing. So, but no, I don't think he'll be. He's not one of those guys that's going to be the face. It's like I said, to me, he's Clyde Drexler. He's the guy that's going to be a good player, but he's never going to be that guy that gets you over the top. He's going to be a role player. He will never be that number one guy, but he's always going to be a great number two.
So he will be the Shaq type of guy when he has to go to LA to have Kobe to win championships.
Ooh,
no, he's not even as good as Shaq.
No.
He's
like probably Scottie Pippen, I would say, just like that, like kind of what you mentioned with Clyde Drexler, a number two.
But because Scottie could still be a number one. Scottie left and was a number one when he went to Houston.
Yeah,
he was a number one when Jordan retired.
Bam could probably be a number one, though. I think it would just take a little bit more than what he's got. He would need some more offensive production than what he has, especially in a scoring league.
And Tyler Hero is not even in the top 3 in Wisconsin scoring high school basketball.
Really?
No, Anthony Pieper does still hold the state record.
Wow. Then what record did he hold? Because I thought it was some type of record. Maybe it was
worst
threes.
Haircut.
Like maybe it was 3s in a season or something. But we are going to take our next break. We got the infamous Who's Hot and Who's Not. We got Major League Baseball edition coming up and NBA edition coming up as well. But before we go to break, let's bring up Stacy's comment here from youtube.com/manhour. She says, I don't understand those people who bleed blue.
Exactly,
Talking
Stacey.
about this UK fans. I mean, we have more championships than Louisville. We have the most recent championship over Louisville. I'm just saying.
False.
When was the last time Louisville won a championship?
2013.
It got taken away.
Nope.
It doesn't work. That's what you happen when you buy strippers and hookers. We'll be right back here, guys, on the Man Hour. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Tori Anderson, Wyatt Williams tonight. You can find us all on Twitter at manhour_Buck, manhour_Tori, and manhour_TWW for the Wyatt Williams. So you guys are going to miss any part of the show tonight whatsoever. You can find us on youtube.com/manhour. I will upload the segments 5 times a day over there on the YouTube channel, or you can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music as well, and of course, iHeartRadio. So let's go ahead and welcome the boys back onto the show. And Tori, I think we lit a little fuse there about the whole UK talk there, and as Stacy is coming at us with the cards, and then cards, baby. Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad you guys can spell cards right, but you can't spell Cardinals, which is awesome. And then she says, let's not even talk about the 2013 championship because those boys earned that. So, how do you get the chat going? Say Louisville sucks, and Tori, your mic is muted. So if you are talking, we are, a house divided over here.
We are.
So yeah, like if you guys want to entertain some chat over here, go to youtube.com/manhour. As Stacy is just like, I can feel her rage like coming through the keyboards, like when you like angry type, like I can kind of like see the pulsing happening like over there in the chat because she's typing so hard. But guys, it is that special time of night here where we are going to talk some Major League Baseball here of who's hot and who is not. So Tori Anderson, you are in the spot of Brandon Combs tonight. So you are going to give me 3 teams that are hot in Major League Baseball right now. Who is your first hot team?
First one, I'm going to go with New York Mets. The New York Mets are making me eat my words. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're pitching, in the words of Denny Green, they are who we thought they are. Their pitching is lights out. Again, it's an issue with their run support generally. Their bats are starting to come to life. Brandon Nimmo has been lights out. J.D. Davis has been lights out. Conforto hasn't hit very well. Alonso hasn't hit very well, and yet they're still winning games. Hands down, give me the Mets at starting to run away a little bit with the East. There again, as the weather gets warmer, I think their bats will start to heat up. You're not going to keep Conforto and Alonso down very long. That pitching staff, it can rival any of them right now in the majors. I would put them right up there with the Dodgers staff, right up there with the Padres staff, and I'm going to say it, yes, my Milwaukee Brewers staff as well.
So one thing that you said here earlier, I believe it was yesterday's show, Tori, I was going to let it just slide over because you were dogging my Kansas City Royals just a tad bit. But you said the reason why the Royals look so good is because the division is so bad. Do the Mets look that good because their division is so bad right now?
No, because they actually play in a good division. They got the Phillies.
Okay.
They got the Phillies,
which is below 500. Okay.
Everybody in that division has a chance to win that division except for the Marlins.
No, pause.
It does not matter.
You are saying that the AL Central is a bad division because there's nobody good in that division, but record-wise, the AL Central is better than the AL East. Just putting it out there. But this is your segment.
Royals
Who is
suck.
hot? Who is hot? Number 2.
Number 2, we have the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, do we really even need to beat this dead horse at this point? Again, they lead almost every statistical category that matters in almost anything. Right
and
now,
Trevor Bauer's on fire pitching. Just saying. Best pitcher in the league.
Wait, it's weird. Trevor Bauer hasn't had to text me lately.
So, Tori, you bring up the Dodgers because they are 13-3 on the season so far. They've had a pretty good slate of games here. Man, they played the A's, the Nationals, and the Padres. And looking forward, they play Seattle. They play the Padres again, and then they play first place Cincinnati Reds, and then your Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, they have a chance to really widen the gap there in the West, but are they going to come back down to earth a little bit playing this tough schedule?
I don't see it, honestly. Right now, Turner's hitting 404. He's leading their lineup. Their worst hitter right now is Cody Bellinger at 211. If he was playing, Cody Bellinger's on the Brewers hitting 211, he'd be like the third best hitter on our team this year so far. He'd probably be if he was on the Cubs, he would be the best hitter.
There you go. Wyatt's Cubs, right?
So the thing is that team is so stacked, top to bottom. It's not even fair. And the only team that realistically I think that has a chance day in and day out to take a series from them is the Padres. Is that going to happen? No, obviously it's not. They're going to hit a downfall at some point. However, right now, the way it stands, I don't see it. They are just steamrolling everyone that they come into contact with. And it's like I said, it's not even close. It's not even fair when you're trotting out like 7 All-Stars every single day.
I mean, like it is what it is. I mean, when you can buy championships, I mean that's what's going to happen. They're going to attempt to buy championships. I mean, well, hang on. If you want to do that, Tori, the NBA has a salary cap. Major League Baseball doesn't.
This is true. This is also they do it. That's not true. There is a soft cap.
Okay, there's a soft cap, but you pay like 5% tax if you go over the soft cap.
The first year,
whatever. There's no salary cap. Who is your hot number 3 team?
Oakland Athletics. The Oakland A's right now started off 1-7. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games. They've won 8 straight. So you can't not put them in your hot teams. I mean, if you win 8 straight games, you're going to be in my hot teams. As I said, Scrappy counts in my rankings as Combs was trying to tear apart my rankings from yesterday. So. Yeah. But to me, that means something. If your team's got heart, this is the team that's got heart. They could have easily folded up shop that early in the season they had a historically bad start. They had some tough games, but they have bounced back, and now they're like, yeah, this is who we are. And, Luzardo, he's probably one of my guys that nobody would really talk about as a Cy Young candidate. I think that Luzardo, though, at the end of the year, we're going to be talking about, like, man, this kid's definitely a Cy Young candidate.
Yeah, so one team that I noticed that you do not have and who is in your hot list there is the first place team in the NL Central. That's not the Cubs. That's not the Cardinals. That's not even your Brewers.
It's the Reds.
It is the Cincinnati Reds. They're sitting at 9-6.
Torrey's getting a tat.
How are they not hot?
They're 6-4 in their last 10.
Yeah, still.
Hashtag Torrey's getting a tat.
Hashtag they still got more wins than the Brewers and Cubs.
Oh, hashtag they'll be out of it by May.
Okay, Mark. So Stacy, there you go. Tori, your BFF over here in the chat here says your Reds will be out of it in 2 weeks. So Tori, who is not hot?
The Colorado Rockies, 2-8. This is a team that just has nothing going on for them right now. They weren't expected to be good. They weren't expected to do nothing. They were expected to basically be one of the worst teams in baseball. I didn't expect them to be historically bad. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They're looking at being like the version of the Marlins that the Marlins were in 2019. Their pitching is awful. German Marquez, who is supposed to be their star pitcher and who's supposed to be the ace of that staff, is not looking good. But the thing is pitching in Colorado, that's what happens to pitchers there. How many pitchers have they had that have come out, they looked really good? Outside of like Sonny Gray has probably been the most consistent one.
Yeah. So just to add to your point there, a tad bit there, Combs and Hoffy both said that the Tigers would be historically bad with like 110 losses both on this season. So kind of having them like in your who's not hot list is kind of an oxymoron kind of I think, just to kind of poke some holes into your thing there, just a tad.
Well, that's my next team is the Tigers at 3-7. But the Tigers were historically bad no matter what way you look at it. They are not a good team. They have not been a good team for the last 10 years. There's some hope on the horizon with them. So at least hopefully brighter days. I will tell you, Detroit is one of those teams that I will always cheer for because they are so terrible year in and year out.
But
unless you're like, if they were like the
won
Yankees,
a couple
then
words.
yeah.
I mean, like the Tigers were like consistently in the World Series and stuff like that. Like, what's it? It was 2010 seasons, right? When they won their last World Series, I think it was, or something. I mean, they haven't
didn't win
one.
Yeah, but they still been there. I mean,
Right.
they haven't been historically bad for forever, right?
But they're a team like the Padres. The Padres every once, pop up every couple of years and are really good, and then are bad for like 10 years. I like it.
Jacksonville
like
Jaguars.
Like Kansas State football is like that. Oh, sorry.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Who is your last who's not team?
The one, the only, the team of choice of one Wild Williams and Brandon Combs.
Oh, God.
The Chicago Cubs. If you're down with the Cubs, I got 2 awards for you. They're terrible. So Kyle Hendricks got lit up on Sunday. That could be a sign of things to come. Kyle Hendricks started off the season really well. He did not pitch well on Sunday. They may have as well put the ball on a tee and let him hit it the way he was pitching in the first inning on Sunday. So the Cubs are not hitting well. I think they're hitting like 184 as a team. They're striking out a ton. They're swinging at everything. The only thing that they got going for them right now is that the starting pitching has kept them in the games. They've gone 3-7 in their last 10. If it wasn't for their starting pitching, they would have been 0-10 easily.
So what you're saying is the Cubs are the worst team in Major League Baseball?
Yes. Hands down, without a doubt. I don't care if they're in first place of the worst team in baseball. They're like the Yankees.
They are just like the Yankees. So that is Tori's who's hot and who's not in the Major League Baseball. So let's go ahead and refresh that here. Who is hot? He has the New York Mets, the LA Dodgers, and of course the Oakland A's. They are both hot teams in the Major League Baseball right now. Put money on them if you're betting some games 100%. And who is not? The Detroit Tigers, Colorado Rockies, and of course the Chicago Cubs. And I feel like the Cubs will be down there all season long. So Tori, every time you are on and we're doing who's hot and who's in and like who's
Cubs.
who's not,
Cubs will always be not.
Cubs will always be down at the bottom, right?
They could go 10-0. They'll be not hot.
All right, guys. We are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we got the NBA. Who's hot and who's not with the NBA playoffs right around the corner. So stay tuned as Wyatt Williams takes front and center stage right here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back, guys. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Wyatt Williams and Tori Anderson tonight as Brandon Combs has the night off taking care of business at the old house home. So hopefully he's having a great night. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, head over to manhourradio.com. Click on the podcast form. You can listen to the podcast version of this as well. Or you can download it on iTunes, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and of course, Spotify. And if you are going to just want to catch a little part of the show, head over to youtube.com/Man Hour. You can check out the clips thing. Click on the playlist. We got all the clips and segments uploaded there each and every day. So let's go ahead and welcome the boys back on the show. Wyatt and Tori, guys, we've had a good show so far, but now it is time to make it great. Make Man Hour great again, Wyatt Williams, with some NBA talk of who's hot and who is not. So Wyatt, right off the bat, in the NBA right now, the playoffs start in what? 2 weeks? I believe it is. Starts in about 11 days, if I'm not mistaken. Who is hot in the NBA?
Well, as of right now, who's hot? First, we're going to start this off with the Memphis Grizzlies. All right. Memphis Grizzlies currently at 29-26, 12 games behind first place. They are still in that fighting area in the Western Conference to try and make it into the playoffs. They're currently sitting at the 8th seed, so they are in that play-in game. They are 7-3 in their last 10 games, so winning 7. Ja Morant is a young star. I mean, a star in this league, and is going to do a lot of great things by the time that he retires. He is incredible. I love everything he's doing. Small town kid, went to Murray State, had the awesome March Madness run. He's an awesome player, doing a lot of cool things in the league. So that first team here, the Memphis Grizzlies, at 7-3 currently in their last 10 and currently sitting at that 8th seed. The teams above them, of course, the Mavericks at 30-26, so one game ahead. The two teams behind them who are still in that play-in tournament, the Warriors and the Spurs. We'll mention the Spurs here in a little bit, but also a really notable choice here at the 11th spot is the Pelicans. So it is really good for them right now to be on this hot streak as the season kind of comes near its end. You want to be in that 7-10 spot to have your shot at the playoffs. And the Pelicans are going to make a good run for it. The Spurs are going to try and make a run for it. And the Warriors, especially led by Steph Curry, who is playing out of his mind right now, are going to make a run for it. So that first team I've got is the Grizzlies.
So why you mentioned the Grizzlies and like in your who is hot segment here, and I gotta concur. I watched them play just the other night, and they bring excitement to the game of basketball. They are young, they are hungry, they are almost a team that you do not want to allow into the playoffs, especially in those play-in games, just because once they get those first few games under their belt, they're going to make some noise in the in the playoffs. And the first and second seed teams better look out. They are going to be hungry and they're going to be hot.
Absolutely. So now moving on to the second who's hot team. That's going to be the Los Angeles Clippers, 40-19 at the moment, 3 seed in the West. They just got Kawhi Leonard back. We all saw what he did the other night. Had an incredible game, led the team in, I believe it was rebounds and assist as well. He did not lead them in scoring. Paul George had a really good night that night. He was second in scoring. They've won 8 out of their last 10. So they are really on a hot streak right now. And like I said, they just got Kawhi Leonard back. They did a good job of managing the game while he was out, still winning games, still keeping their place in the Western Conference, whereas a team that has lost some stars, the Lakers, has not done so great at keeping their place. They've slipped down a little bit. But speaking of the Clippers, 8 wins out of their last 10. Kawhi Leonard's back. They're clicking on all cylinders at the moment. This is a scary team who is fit for a deep playoff run.
So it is funny that you mentioned their last 10 games here, because looking at their last 10 games, they really haven't played anybody too well. Yes, they played the Phoenix Suns, which is an upcoming team. The Rockets aren't very good. Yeah.
Well, that's with my thing with your how do you, and I got to agree with Drew. Drew's got Suns hot. The Suns are 8-2 in their last 10. Literally, the big change that they made this past season was they got Chris Paul. The guy is 36 years old and still the point guard. The guy is one of the best point guards ever to play this game. He's going to command almost a max salary probably out on the free agent market this summer again at 36 years old. The guy could probably play for 3 or 4 more years. So how you can I'm not taking anything away from a young Grizzlies team, but the Suns have been terrible up until this year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. The only thing, though, I didn't want to choose, say the Jazz, of course, too, who would currently have the best record, or the Suns. I thought the highest I really wanted to go was with the Clippers, and they were 8-2. I thought about the Nuggets as well, who are 8-2. But I don't think the Nuggets will be hot much longer since Jamal is out for the year. So I went with the Clippers on this one. I stuck away from the Suns just because they're one of the top 2 seeds. I think currently right now, if they were to play the Jazz, who's the 1 seed, I think they'd beat the Jazz. I don't think they're the best team in the West, but I think that they are the second best team in the West, and possibly the third, if not the second. So I didn't want to go with your top candidates, and even on my who's not candidates, I didn't go with anybody that was, say, a 14 or 15 seed, just because everybody kind of knows that they're hot or they're not hot.
Are you handing out participation trophies too?
Huh?
Are you handing out participation trophies too?
No. My next team is the hottest team in the NBA right now, though, and that is the Boston Celtics. All right, after a 23-25 start, they have, or 23-24 start, I believe it was. They have fully turned everything around now. The Boston Celtics since then are 8-2. They've won 8 out of their last 10. Things are clicking. They had a rough start. Everybody was like, this is the year Boston finally falls off, doesn't, go deep in the playoffs. Brad Stevens is going to leave and go to Indiana. That was hilarious, of course.
So did you see the breaking news on that one?
Yeah, with it, they offered him $70 million or whatever, and he declined.
No, Brad Stevens came out and said they never contacted him. That offer never happened.
Really? Wow. That's crazy.
Denied the rumor of it.
Back to the Celtics, Wyatt.
But that's crazy though if that turns out to be true. But yeah, 31-26 after the rough start. They had a losing record just a few games ago. Everybody talking about the Celtics, they're finally this run of them being good. It's finally over with. They're going to drop down a little bit. They're going to need a new coaching staff and all that stuff. But things are really starting to click again. And they are 8.5 games behind the first place, who is the Sixers, and I don't think anybody's going to catch the Sixers other than the Nets, possibly. As for the rest of the year, the Bucks might have a shot at it, but they're sitting currently at 4 games behind, so it's going to be an uphill climb for them too. But so that the hottest team right now in the league, without a doubt, in my opinion, is the Boston Celtics. Rough start, they've turned everything around.
All right, so just to review here, he has the LA Clippers, Memphis Grizzlies, and the Boston Celtics all on his who is hot list. They are all, I believe they're all 8-2 in their last 10, if I'm not mistaken.
One is 7-3, I believe. Let me check.
So moving on to who is not hot. Who is number one on your list of who is not hot?
Yeah, so not hot. We're going to start off here with the 8th seed in the East. That's going to be the Hornets, who were just earlier 4th seed in the East and have completely just fallen apart since then. They've only won 4 out of their last 10, 28-28 right now, and it's all spiraled out of control after LaMelo Ball went out. That is, another reason why LaMelo Ball is a future star in this league. That's another name earlier we didn't mention that has the potential to be the face of this league. Excuse me, is LaMelo Ball. Really good point guard.
If they come back, he's coming back in the next 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, he's coming back?
Yeah,
in
that
7
was
to 10 days.
That was just released about an hour ago, saying that CT has cleared of his fractured wrist and is fully healed, and he is able to resume activities.
Oh, geez, I didn't even know that. I thought he was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I thought he did. I thought he was too.
Yeah,
but I saw it when we were on break.
Wow, I didn't even see that. But anyways, the Hornets, they're 11 games behind now. Ever since LaMelo has been out, not good at all. I love their announcers, though. I will give them that. They're very creative. I like them a lot. They scream a lot. It's pretty cool. But hey, 4-6 out of their last 10, 11 games behind first place. They were the 4 seed at one point. They've dropped all the way down to the 8 seed now. So not great, but if LaMelo does come back, look for that to be, a who's hot team on our next edition. But any reaction to that, boys?
Yeah, so do you think Ball is the X factor for this team? He's that player that makes that team go or not go?
Yeah, I think, Terry Rozier, a guard on that team who is incredible, a Louisville player. But I don't think he is for sure, because we've seen what?
Go Cards go.
But I think we've kind of seen that, he's still in and stuff right now. So Bridges is awesome. He had a really cool dunk, but we're seeing it right now. Ever since LaMelo's been out, this team's been completely different, and they're not a contender whatsoever. So absolutely, I think LaMelo Ball is that X factor for this team, and I think he would be an X factor for many teams across the league. The kid's got talent. He can finish well, passes extremely well, shoots from the perimeter extremely well. He does it all. He really does it all. LaMelo Ball is awesome.
Number 2. Go ahead. Sorry, Tori.
I was going to say, you know who's better than LaMelo?
Who?
Wilt.
Okay, right now, sure. But anyways, moving on now to our 9th. I kind of just gave it away. Our second team on who's hot and who's not. This one, of course, our who's not is the 9th seed. That is going to be the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers opened up the season and were a top team in the East. Came out, Sabonis was on fire. TJ Warren was playing well. They just brought in Karis LeVert, of course. Karis, of course, had that issue with some medical stuff. I believe he had the tumor on his knee. Is that correct, Tori? Tumor on his knee?
Yeah, he had a tumor. He had to have it removed. He had to have surgery.
I thought it was colon cancer.
No, it was benign. It wasn't. I think it was benign. Wasn't it? Or was it malignant? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. But anyways,
I thought it was on his kidney, though.
It was.
I didn't know. I just saw it was somewhere on him. But he has since returned back to the court, and they still can't get anything going recently. So they've dropped all the way down to the 9th seed now. They were at once a top 3 seed. 13 games behind first place, 26-30, their current record, 5-5 over the last 10. Not too great up there at Indianapolis for the Pacers.
Are the Pacers a team that if they get hot, they're going to make some noise in the playoffs?
The Pacers are the Pacers.
Pacers, I like that. Yeah, that's true. I was trying to think, no, I really don't think so. Even if they get hot, I still think, just like you said, they're always going to be the Pacers. Just like the Clippers. I mentioned the Clippers, but at the end of the day, they're always going to be the Clippers, and they're always going to screw up in the playoffs. You're never going to change that kind of stuff. So it doesn't matter how good their teams are.
The problem with the Pacers is they've never figured out how to play Sabonis and Turner on the court at the same time.
Yeah. They've got two of the really talented
in the league.
Yeah.
They need to move, they have to move one of them. They're going to have to.
And they can get a lot for him, and I hope it's Turner because Sabonis, I think is as of right now, I think Sabonis is the best player on that team.
Well, the president took a step back this year too, so
yeah.
Brogdon.
But our final team, or a lot about Brogdon, but anyways, our final team is on who's not hot is the Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs. Man, DeRozan and company, they have dropped 3-7 out of their last 10. They have fallen way out of contention here. They're the 10th seed now. They were at once the 6th seed. They've fallen all the way down to the 10th now, 14 games behind first place. There is no way they're coming back from that. But they'll be lucky if they even make the playoffs at this point. They were pretty solid and secured as a possible, lower seed to make it. Now they've shook everything up, and if I had to bet at this point, I bet the Pelicans move over top of them, and I think that the Kings possibly even, if they keep on this spiral out of control, I think the Kings could even possibly move over top of them, but especially the Pelicans. Pelicans currently 2 games behind them at 25-32. The West is just extremely hard this year. Everybody knows that. If you look at the 9th seed in the West, that's the Warriors. They're 28-29. The 28-29 team in the East earlier this year, or even with that earlier this year in the East, you were looking around a 4 seed. Now they're starting to even things out a little bit. But, the West is just so stacked right now. As for teams, you've got incredible teams. That's why I think no matter what, the winner of the finals is coming out of the West. I think that it'll be the Nets coming from the East, but it'll be on the West side. So speaking of, a 27-28 record is not going to cut it in the West, especially not if you're the 10th seed. You got to win 2 games to get in, and they're 3-7 out of their last 10. So not very good, and they're in a sense falling apart.
Well, and they've also pretty much gave away all their good players too, like either cut them or trade them. So I kind of feel like they're in rebuild mode, and they just got fined for sitting players too, because that whole sitting player rule that they have in the NBA too now. So I don't think they're too worried about making the playoffs. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could see. I think so.
Tori, any closing thoughts before we head to our next break?
The Cubs suck.
Jeez. All right, Combs. All right, guys. So on the other side of the break here, guys, we are going to dive into some more NFL talk. And we also got some Major League Baseball if time permits. So coming up on the Man Hour, we're going to talk a little bit of Tom Brady. We're going to talk a little bit of Aaron Rodgers. Who's the GOAT? That's not for the debate tonight, but we do have NFL talk coming up, guys, after the break. We're right back here on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Tori Anderson and the Wyatt Williams tonight. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can download us on podcast form on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, and of course, iHeartRadio as well. Or simply head over to youtube.com/Man Hour and hit on the join button. You become a member as little as 99 cents, and you get all the access to everything over there as well. After show footage, t-shirts, hoodies, everything that you could possibly want from the Man Hour, it's there. Also, guys, starting today, actually starting soon, but we finalize it today, we're going to have pre-show as well. So if you sign up for the $9.99 a month there membership, you get pre-show footage, you get behind-the-scenes footage during the show, and of course, after-hours footage as well. That is thanks to Tori. Tori's the mastermind behind all this. Congratulations, Tori. How do you feel about that?
I didn't do any of it. I never touched her, and her ID said she was 18.
So if you guys are over on the youtube.com/Man Hour page right now, the chat, I have learned how to get underneath some of our chatters' skin there. So I'm going to put that in my pocket and pin it up for a rainy day.
Hey, speaking of that Louisville, national champion team, because they were national champions, today is Russ Dickulus's birthday. So happy birthday, Russ Smith.
I don't know who that is.
Of course you don't. You should know. He was, all of Kentucky's daddy that year in the tournament.
Oh, you see, fun
that was
fact
Francisco
is
Garcia.
I didn't become a UK fan until 2018 when I met Cindy, or when I married Cindy. So before I was, but see, I'm still a Wildcat fan of just K-State, the real Wildcats, but
the real Wildcats,
the real Wildcats,
the real ones.
But guys, let's go ahead and jump into some NFL talk here. Tom Brady is set to come back from knee surgery here in June and be ready for minicamp here. So Vegas has the Buccaneers winning 11.5 games this season and basically repeat as Super Bowl champs as they do have all 22 starters coming back on the team here. So Wyatt, let me propose you this question. Tom Brady's going to be 45 years old this year, for 44 years old this year, coming off a knee surgery. Yes, it was, quote, minor for some cleanup reasons and stuff like that, but it's still a surgery on your body. You're you're getting cut open, etc. Should Tom Brady just slow down and let his body heal and be ready for actual preseason, or do you think he is going to just say F it and be ready for minicamp?
I think I think that it's really up to him. It's whatever the doctors say. I think he should just listen to the doctors. If the doctors say that he's going to be ready for OTAs, do OTAs. If he's going to be ready for the mini camps and stuff, be ready for mini camp. If he's going to be ready for preseason, be ready for preseason. If he's going to be ready for the regular season, be ready for the regular season. I think that it has all to do with his healing. Tom Brady knows his healing better than anybody else because he is Tom Brady. He is, the longevity of his career is incredible because of how well he's taken care of his body. So, you are right. It is a surgery. You did go under the knife. You did get cut open, and that is, something that is, could be career altering no matter what that surgery is, even if it's minor. So I think you got to be cautious about it. You got to trust the doctors. You got to trust yourself and your body. To when you and your whatever he got surgery on in his knee feels ready, and whenever the doctors say you're ready, the physical therapist, when everything aligns correctly and you say you're ready, because he is, in his mid-40s now. He is not 27, 25 anymore. Things heal slower. Things, cramp up more now. It's not like when he was in his 20s. So I think you listen to the doctors, you listen to your body, and you decide whenever you're ready.
Tori, you are in their mid-40s here. You know how it is to heal from a surgery. How do you think Tom Brady just pumped the brakes a little bit?
This is just what I picture Tom Brady like at home. Like, my body's in tune. I will just heal. That's how I picture Tom Brady. He's a completely different animal. I'm fat. He's not. The man watches everything that goes into his body. He has a nutritionist. He has everything. He probably actually heals a lot better than I do. Well, that and the fact that I'm diabetic as well. So I know he heals better than I do. So, no, I think he's back. I think he's fine. It's mid-June. If he's having it next week, that puts us, end of April. He's got all of May to kind of recover. If they're going in and cleaning up, it's so minimally invasive these days, the cleanups, that it's ridiculous. All right, a couple days later, you're back full go. Obviously, you're Tom Brady. You're worth millions upon millions of dollars. They might say, hey, Tom, take it easy for about 2 weeks. Do light workouts, do this, do that. They will have somebody orchestrating every single one of his moves.
Well, so one of the biggest things that I'm going to propose here to you guys is that Vegas has predicted the Bucs get 11.5 wins this season. Yes, this is a 17 game season, so you got to factor in that extra game and whatnot here. But
so they're saying in a normal season they would be 10-6.
Pretty much. Well, I don't know. I mean,
or 11-5.
Yeah,
because the over under was at 11.5.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's say Tom Brady rushes back just to get to OTAs, to be, quote, the hardest worker in the in the room, and he just isn't quite there yet, and so he will have lingering effects of that operation, and his recovery gets set back. Wyatt, how far can the Buccaneers go without Tom Brady as quarterback?
0. Not a game. It doesn't matter who you have a backup quarterback. It doesn't matter who's a quarterback down there. That's Tom Brady's team. Without Tom Brady on this team, it's a 6-win team. That's just how this team is. Whenever they had Jameis Winston,
0.
Huh?
You just said 0.
No. He said,
you
when do they need him?
You literally went like this.
Yeah, I went like that. He said, how many weeks can they survive without him? 0. They need him week 1. They're going to need him for 17 weeks. 100%. Like when Jameis Winston was there, this team is not much different from when Jameis Winston was there. They added a running back. They added a wide receiver who is like a wide receiver 3 or 4. Actually, Scotty Miller gets more touches. And then they added one offensive lineman. And then if you take those 3 pieces away, it's the same team that Jameis Winston had and went 3-13 with. So they're going to need Tom Brady week 1. They're going to need Tom Brady week 2 through 17 or 18 now. So weird. I hate that. They're going to need him all the way through the weeks after that as well to the Super Bowl. So yeah, I mean they can last 0 weeks without him.
So you're saying they're a 6-win team without Tom Brady at the helm. Tori, how many wins do the Buccaneers get if Tom Brady isn't starting quarterback for the Buccaneers?
Quick, name the backup quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It's not Jameis Winston.
It's Griffin.
Who is it?
It's
like
Josh
Ryan
Rosen,
Griffin,
isn't it?
Ryan Finley?
No, it's like Ryan Griffin, isn't it? I think so.
They signed Josh Rosen, so I think he's a backup.
Did they? Or I thought no, the Niners didn't.
Yeah,
they put him on the practice squad, didn't they?
Yeah, but he should be active roster now. He's probably the best.
I think he went to the Niners.
I thought Josh Rosen.
Oh, Lord, guys. I'm looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers depth chart right now. Starter, Tom Brady. Second, nothing. Third, nothing. Fourth, nothing. They do not have a second-string quarterback on roster right now.
Interesting.
So you're saying I have a chance.
So you're saying I have a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Buck, what did I tell you? I said, I figured this was my year I was going to get drafted. Yeah. I haven't been drafted the last 23 years, so I figured this was my time.
Do you all think the Buccaneers will draft a quarterback this year, possibly?
You have to. You have to. I don't even think late. I think third round.
I don't know. I know how Tom Brady is with his backup quarterbacks. He likes them, but he doesn't even allow them to get reps in practice because he knows that if you get that chance and you overperform, then you get the job no matter what your name is.
That was a 20 and 30-year-old Tom Brady. Now we're looking at
that was last year, Tom Brady.
No, it wasn't.
He would not let his backups participate last year.
That's because he was on a new team and he had something to prove.
So are you
just saying I will always love you to Tom Brady too, Buck, or what?
No, see, I am actually the biggest Tom Brady hater. Like I despise everything about Tom Brady. Let's just be honest.
You despise everything about quarterbacks that are like everybody should love, like Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson. Like you just despise all those guys.
No, I speak facts and I see facts, and the facts is that Lamar Jackson is overrated and pure trash. But that's besides the point. Tori, how many wins do the Buccaneers get if Tom Brady isn't the quarterback?
I would say with the rest of that roster, they still end up with 8 or 9.
So they're a playoff.
If you want a different answer, 9.
So they are a playoff-bound team without Tom Brady?
They could be if 9 and 8 gets into the playoffs.
So are you saying they're a Super Bowl team with Tom Brady?
Yes.
Yes.
So my next question that I'm going to propose to you guys, with the 22 starters returning back to the Buccaneers, is this a Super Bowl or bust type of year? Will the season be deemed as a bust if they don't win a Super Bowl?
I think so, because it's you win one, you want to win another one. Right. I mean, how did you feel after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl and the next season started? Were you hungry for another Super Bowl? Absolutely.
To be honest, do you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
As a lifelong Chiefs fan and a Royals fan, I was surprised we even won the Super Bowl just because we have always been so mediocre, like at best. So for people to say, oh, we're going to win 7, 8, 9, 10 Super Bowls, let's be realistic. We're happy to get back to another Super Bowl.
So
speak it like a true Bears fan, Buck.
No, I'm like I am speaking it as a realist because we saw the Kansas City Royals reach the pinnacle and then they sold the farm again. Now we are back being a major league, minor league team that feeds the Yankees players. Like that's just what the Royals are. But sorry,
that's the life of every small market team in baseball, though.
So you guys are saying it is Super Bowl or bust for the Buccaneers 100%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you got Chris Godwin, you got Mike Evans, you have Rob Gronkowski, you have Leonard Fournette, you have Ronald Jones, you have Tom Brady. you have a defense that is ungodly good. And if you don't win the Super Bowl, yeah, it's a disappointment.
So let me ask
it's
you
Super
this.
Bowl bust.
So let me ask you this question here. I want to kick it to Wyatt first here. A healthy Tom Brady, a 100% healthy, no lingering effects from the operation. How many wins do they get this season? No. Let's just say over under. Is it over under 11.5 wins next year?
I think it's over. I think they get like around 12 to 13. I think it's just over. Because he's Tom Brady. I mean,
right.
Tom freaking Brady. That's it.
Tom freaking Brady.
That's my answer.
Tori?
Yeah, absolutely. It's over. You got to take the over. That's playing with house money at that point. If he stays healthy all year, I don't care who it is. It's there again, Tom freaking Brady.
So you guys need to go to get on your Vegas odds right now and basically bet over on the 11.5 right now while the betting is still good, right?
No, because I want to do something we're going to make money on. Like give me the Bengals like on an over under of like 9, or actually 8. Give me a Bengals on 8.5.
Interesting. We will address some of these over unders as they start to come out through the Vegas odds here, and the new uniforms come out as well. Speaking of which, have you guys saw the Bengals' new uniforms roll out today?
I did watch it.
Dope.
Do you like those?
Yes.
I like that they went a little bit more away from like the tiger stripe stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's a little more. They got better by going basic.
Yeah. I like how they exposed Joe's Burrow big old cut from his thigh down to his shin bone there. Like, that is a gnarly scar he is going to have. So, Stacy, I do see your comment. I will address that in the Shop Shot section here, coming up here in about 10 minutes here on the Man Hour. But let's go ahead and go over to those homer pick guys. You guys are both Packer fans, and a Packers insider plus Charles Woodson said that the Packers and Aaron Rodgers are going to have a very bitter / nasty breakup here in the next future, or here in the near future. Tori, I'm going to kick it to you first, just because you have seen this. You have been around the block. You have seen the Packers have bitter breakups with their star players. Why do they do this? Like, why can't they just like be happy and sing Kumbaya?
Because the Green Bay Packers,
Kumbaya.
The Green Bay Packers realize that this is a business, and it happens. A run comes to an end, and they literally are robotic about it. Mark Murphy, the CEO of the Green Bay Packers, that's kind of how they do things. Like, it's a business. We know this is going to happen. Everybody would love that storybook ending, and I will tell you, as a Green Bay fan and being from the area, everybody's like, here we go again. Like, this is Brett Favre 2.0. And, the thing is if they trade him, they could still get one heck of a haul for him at this point. But I don't think it will not be this year. If they were going to do something, I do think that they will restructure his deal, but it would be a deal that they can restructure and then trade after this year, because they're going to want to see what Jordan Love has, because Jordan Love obviously is a first-round pick. You have 4 years on your original deal with that team option for the 5th. So at some point, you're going to be like, what did we invest into? Maybe they keep him around for that 3rd year. I don't know. At that point, I think Aaron actually holds all the cards in this situation. He could hold the Green Bay Packers hostage if he wanted to.
What are your thoughts on it?
So I just want to ask, who is this insider we speak of? Is it, so we know Charles Woodson. Is it maybe James Jones, who leaks stuff all the time? Greg Jennings, who goes on Fox Sports Radio and leaks stuff all the time? Is it Mercedes Lewis, who's been seen on certain radio shows leaking stuff about Aaron Rodgers all the time? I'm sure that it is some salty former Packer who, got mad at Aaron Rodgers one day at practice, so now we're going to go talk crap about him. Ooh, I feel like every time that I watch a former Packer receiver on a show, whatever show it is, in some way they have something bad to say about Aaron, and I just don't understand it. And most of them it's because they, like Greg Jennings, he praises Brett Favre but has bad stuff to say about Aaron most of the time. So, I don't know. I think I want to see who this, insider is. Do I think it'll end in a bad breakup? No, I don't think it'll end in a terrible one. Not like Brett Favre's ending. I don't think like that. Do I think it'll be a good one? I mean, I don't really necessarily think any breakups are ever good, because it's a separation of something. So, I don't think that, especially not if it's a quarterback and a team and a legendary quarterback for that team, I don't necessarily think that there's ever really that great split. So I don't think it'll be something like where everybody shakes hands and they're happy and they go on with their ways and, Aaron Rodgers prances and skips down the merry, yellow brick road. I don't think it's anything like that. But I don't think it'll be like Favre. I think that all that drama kind of got out of itself. And like I said, I just want to know who this insider is that's saying all this stuff, because I'm almost positive that it's going to be somebody like Greg Jennings. It's either Greg Jennings, James Jones, or Mercedes Lewis. I can almost guarantee you that.
So
it's not Mercedes. Mercedes loves Aaron.
Okay, so
but he went on Colin Cowherd's show and talked crap about him that one time, and I have never. I mean, I like Mercedes. He's a good blocking tight end, but I have never looked at him the same way ever since he did that.
So, why you are saying that it is always some type of wide receiver that goes on some type of radio show and leaks information? Did you guys know that Jordy Nelson was on the Pat McAfee show last week? Are you saying that the insider is Jordy?
No, Jordy loves Aaron. Pat loves Aaron. That connection right there is I think Aaron Rodgers, when he retires, will probably do something with Pat McAfee. I bet that they link up and do a show of some kind because they're best friends. And I think him and Jordy.
Pat McAfee Jeopardy?
Sports Jeopardy, maybe? I don't know.
The Man Hour Sports Jeopardy with Aaron Rodgers?
The Man Hour Sports Jeopardy with Aaron Rodgers. Pat McAfee?
I will quit. So
you'll be cashing that check still,
right? Yeah. So Tori, you brought up a good point there that the Packers will probably restructure the contract and make it eligible for Aaron Rodgers to be traded. So I'm going to propose this question for you right now. If the Jaguars had a choice to take Trevor Lawrence or Aaron Rodgers, they could trade for Aaron, trade the first overall pick to the Packers, and they get Aaron, and then the Packers get Trevor Lawrence there. If you are the Jaguars, would you take Aaron Rodgers over Trevor Lawrence?
The Jaguars would screw it up and try to take Jordan Rodgers. So Jordan Rodgers is his brother that played for Vanderbilt. No, I don't think you do. Especially there again with a kid like that. That's with Trevor. That's considered a once in a lifetime or a once in a generation quarterback that has all the tools. You don't sacrifice your long term future with all the assets that they have currently built up with draft capital. You don't sacrifice the long term for a 2-year window. They tried to do that in 2016. Did not work.
Why? What about you? You seem to love Aaron. You seem to be riding him quite heavily right now. Would you do that?
Would I give up Aaron Rodgers for Trevor Lawrence? No, I really wouldn't. Because first off, we've got Jordan Love sitting right behind him. So then what would we do with... Then if we did that, then Jordan Love would pretty much just go into the garbage disposal and that was a wasted pick.
Exactly.
That would have been a wasted pick and all that stuff. So I still kind of want to see what Jordan has to offer. If you go back and look at Jordan's, career stats and stuff at Utah State, especially his junior year, he did a lot of really good stuff. I mean, he's a really good quarterback. A lot of people compared him to Patrick Mahomes the way he plays, and I don't necessarily think they're wrong. But I think in that sense, then, we've still, this year the Packers are still going to be a contender, and it's because of Aaron Rodgers. Trevor Lawrence, although a great prospect, still hasn't done anything. He still has not stepped on an NFL field one time. He still has not played against an NFL defense. So am I saying he's going to be a bust? Absolutely not. I really don't think he will. But I still think at this point Aaron Rodgers has proven himself. And right now the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers are a Super Bowl contender. And if you switch that out for Trevor Lawrence, I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender. I think they'll be a playoff contender. I just don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender because Aaron Rodgers is better than Trevor Lawrence at this moment. Now, how both careers end up ending, who knows? We'll see that eventually down the road. But also, then it would rise the questions with Jordan Love. What are they going to do with him? Then there will be all kinds of stuff with that. So, no, I don't think I would trade Aaron Rodgers for Trevor Lawrence. So,
if you were to trade Aaron Rodgers, what is his worth right now, Wyatt?
2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. They're probably, 3 first-round picks, 3 seconds.
Whatever you would take to fetch Deshaun, you would need that plus another early round pick.
So you guys are saying he's worth 2 to 3 first round picks, but you wouldn't trade him for Trevor Lawrence?
No,
I wouldn't.
Alrighty, guys. We are going to take a quick little break here on the Man Hour. On the other side of the Man Hour, we do have Shop Talk. If you guys want to talk about anything, let us know here in the chat. I do have a couple comments to address here on the other side of the break. So guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back here for Shop Talk here on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. As Wyatt gets kicked off the show again for trying to sing off tune. And if you mess me up one more time, Wyatt, I'm going to have to kick you in the Jerusalem. That is the little thing above your stomach in semi-pro where he punches you, and he's like, "I've never puked before." And then Jimmy Moon pukes all
Jackie Moon.
It's Jimmy Moon. It is Jackie Moon. I was actually Jackie Moon for Halloween. Did the this year, Wyatt, with the short shorts and the wig and everything.
I love it, man. That move semi-pro is so funny.
Where'd you get a Tropics jersey from?
From the costume store.
Oh, they actually have Jackie Moon costumes?
Yeah.
Yeah, they sell like Jackie. You can go to a jersey store and get Jackie Moon jerseys.
I will wear.
Yeah, you can get coffee black jerseys too.
Yeah. If I can find it and like in our storage shit, I'll wear it tomorrow on the after hour show. So
Tori, they have like all kinds of movie jerseys, like Bobby Boucher, Paul Crewe. There's all kinds of movie jerseys.
Oh, the only one I would want is a Ricky Vaughn jersey. Forget the curveball, Ricky. Throw him the heater. Son, at this level, we wear caps and sleeves. This ain't the California Penal League.
Is Major League a top sports movie of like all time?
That to me, that is the top sports movie.
Oh, it's not the best.
Okay,
it's that or Caddyshack. One of those two.
I feel like we have a debate going here. Why? Give me your top 5 sports movies.
Top 5 sports movies. Okay, this is tough. I'll have to go from 1 to 5. 1 for me is Hoosiers. It's the greatest movie of all time. Greatest sports movie of all time. Hoosiers is incredible.
Trash.
Hoosiers is incredible. Second is Remember the Titans. That one's amazing. Next is...
Did you cry in that movie?
Remember? Oh yeah. Everybody cries and Remember the Titans.
I didn't.
Next is, of course you didn't, because you're a ginger. Ginger's on souls.
Wyatt just fell. What just fell? It was your manhood. Pick it up.
Third, I'd have to go Moneyball. Fourth, I'd have to go with. I don't know. There's a lot of good movies. Fourth, I'd probably have to go with The Longest Yard. God, it's so funny.
The new
The
one,
original or the remake?
Yeah, the original.
The remake. The original's good, but I feel like the remake was funnier.
Have you seen the original?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Watch it with my grandpa.
I actually haven't. I actually haven't. So.
And then fifth, probably The Sandlot. Sandlot's really good. It's a classic.
I think it's overrated.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Sandlot's incredible. Sandlot is like an all-time, like, cancel out sports. The Sandlot is an all-time great movie. Like, just cancel out the sports thing. Like, if you want to talk about all-time great movies, The Sandlot is an all-time great movie. It's just like, there's so many. I like to judge movies off like punchlines that everybody uses in their everyday life, like still to this day. Like, "You're killing me, Smalls." Everybody still says stuff like that. Like, it's just there's so many great catchphrases in it.
Comes from anymore,
huh?
Go ahead. Nobody knows where it comes from anymore.
Oh, I know. It's terrible. That's like the first thing. It's the first sports movie my kids are going to watch is Sandlot, because it's amazing.
Tori, let's talk some sense. Who is your top 5 sports movies?
So number one, Major League, hands down, one of my favorite movies of all time. The first one, second was awful. Second one, they tried way too hard on that one. You know, the Joe Boo thing in the first one was great. They tried to like make him like a pacifist in the second one, and
right.
No, it's no. And the thing, obviously, and for me, it's a little bit more. It's more sentimental because most of Major League was actually filmed at County Stadium in Milwaukee. If you did not know that,
did not.
So yeah, if you watch the movie, you'll see the blue and the gold still in the County Stadium when you watch it. It's not. They didn't even change the colors for the for the Cleveland Indians. They would change like some of the logos and stuff like that, but for the most part, yeah, you can still tell it's County Stadium. Number 2, Caddyshack, and it is razor thin there between my 1 and my 2 because Caddyshack was one of the original sports comedies in my book that was just amazing in the 80s.
It is funny.
You know, the 80s is to me probably golden age for comedy movies, and Caddyshack is hands down, one of them. Number 3, you're going to make fun of me. Absolutely, and I deserve every piece of it because it's sentimental as well, is the Mighty Ducks. The whole V formation.
It's
Quack,
a good one, though. It's
quack,
a good movie.
Quack, quack. Number 4, a lot of people make fun of it because it's ridiculous and stuff like that. I thought it was a really good movie, but the ending was stupid, was The Natural. If The Natural's on, I'm going to watch it. I don't
think I've ever seen that.
It's got Robert Redford, and it's a pretty good movie. Some people make fun of it because like the way it ends at the end, but it's one of those that like if you tell me The Natural's on, I'm going to sit down and watch it. And the last one is there again. It's from the 90s, but it's got the 80s type stuff. Is Little Giants. If you've never seen Little Giants,
yes.
Little Giants.
Yeah, that was
Little Giants is freaking hilarious. So because like I don't know if you can really call it a sports movie or not, but I would probably
it's definitely a sports movie.
No, I would throw The Ringer in there as well.
Oh,
and that movie is great.
So
Johnny Knoxville. No, I got to switch something real quick. I realized. Take out.
Hoosiers.
I'm going to move Sandlot to 4, and instead of The Longest Yard, I'm going to put Bleed for This at 5. I love Bleed for This.
I've never even heard of it.
The movie about Vinny Pazienza. I think it's Vinny Pazienza, right? The boxer where he breaks his neck and then in the car crash, then ends up coming back to box again. It's amazing. I've
never seen it. I'm gonna have to watch it.
It's on Netflix. You have to watch it. It's incredible.
So my top 5 is I do have Major League.
Oh, I wish I had the mute button.
Major League is number 1. That is a great baseball movie, hands down the best baseball movie ever. And then I'm gonna have to go number 2 is The Blind Side. I just, for one, I love Sandra Bullock in that one. It's just like she acts very, very well in that one. Number 3, I'm gonna go with like a newer video or a newer movie, but Draft Day. Like if you guys have not seen
about Draft Day. Draft Day
about that one too.
excellent.
Yeah, Draft Day was
Draft
pretty
Day
good.
It's a great one. And then this is kind of where it gets kind of dicey for me a tad bit because like I am a humor sports.
You're very dicey, Buck.
Well, like this is like this because like I am a humor sports guy, so like I like Happy Gilmore, I like The Waterboy, but any given Sunday slides in there for me at number 4, and then number 5, The Replacements. I cannot get enough of the replacements.
God.
Replacements.
I would actually probably take the Mighty Ducks out and put The Replacements in at number 3.
Yeah. Red means stop. Red means stop. Yeah.
Stop.
I love.
Give me the ball.
Yeah. So, and Drew says The Replacements, and Stacy says she has the Hoosiers, Blindsides, the Mighty Ducks, and she can't think of the rest.
Hoosiers is the greatest sports movie of all time.
No, it's not.
Because
if you appreciate Indiana basketball, it is. 100%.
See that is the issue here. Is like you were from Indiana, you were born and raised in like Indiana, so you were kind of brainwashed to love this show, right? And I'm from Kansas, and like I watched this movie, and I'm like, this is kind of stupid. Like,
no, it's funny.
It's not stupid. Like every goal measures 10 feet. You don't need a tape measure to show me that. It's so dumb.
It's true though. Like the main character in Hoosiers says like 3 words.
Jimmy Chitwood, baby. That's because he was quiet. Yeah. It's amazing. But here's the thing: fun fact, people in Indiana either love Hoosiers or they hate it. So. The reason why people love it, of course, is because it's about Indiana basketball. But the reason why people hate it is it's a knockoff of the Milan Miracle story, where Milan, Indiana, went on to beat, I think it was Muncie Central was the real version. And Muncie Central had 2,000 kids in their school, and Milan had only like 200 in their entire, from K through 12, had 200 kids, and in their high school, Muncie Central had 2,000. So like it's a knockoff of the Milan Miracle. And then of course the real person is not Jimmy Chitwood. It is, of course, now it's gonna slip my name, or it's gonna slip my head. I'll remember after the show's over, of course. Of course I'm gonna forget it. Never mind.
All right. Well, it's fun fact here. Cindy's dad actually went to Milan High School. So
what? Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was way back in the day. And Drew says we all forgot about Necessary Roughness. I've never seen that movie either.
That's a good 90s flick right there.
Is it?
Kathy Ireland is the kicker.
Bobby Plump. Bobby Plump. That's who it was. The real life Jimmy Chitwood. His name is Bobby Plump. I knew that too. Why am I forgetting that?
Just sometimes, why you just blank on names, just like I can't pronounce names. So like just like we all have our flaws, and then Combs comes and corrects us after he Googles it. It's like, oh.
Yeah, at least I only admonish you guys in private.
Yeah. So, guys, that is going to be it for the Man Hour tonight. If you are a member, we have started the after show here. I cannot get the screen share to work, so it's going to be simply just voices there tonight, unfortunately. But head over to youtube.com/Man Hour. If you are a member, you should have got a notification, or you can click on the Man Hour page there, and it should have a community tab where you can view all membership videos. We're still kind of working the kinks out on this, but bear with us, enjoy the ride, and of course I did send a link out to all the members as as well. But Wyatt, before we get too carried away, man, send the people out.
Man Hour Nation, rise up.